ladies and gentlemen, for the past couple of years, one of the things that I spent my time on, I sat down with Team Seder. We do this every 6 to 10 weeks. We do a evaluation of what I should be doing with my time, what projects would be the best use of both my time, my skill set, and best for society. And sometime in, I think it was late 2015, maybe early 2016, team gathered round. There was a couple of folks on the team who presented a PowerPoint presentation suggesting that one of the things I should be focusing on is Dave Rubin pretending to be of the left, to pretend, branding himself as the last liberal, and therefore was in a perfect position to critique the left, because as a liberal, the party had left him. The ideology had left him, and his bona fides at that time were impeccable. He was someone who was against identity politics, but also made it very clear that he was gay and married. He was against the death penalty. At the time, he was for single-payer health care, though it subsequently became clear that he didn't know what that meant, and was also for limited government, which, if you know anything about single-payer health care, you know is probably the greatest expansion of government that we could have. What else was he for? He was for marriage equality and probably one or two other things. Oh,
did you say gun control?
Some gun control. Sort of vague.
Recently, he's saying, "What's the point?"
Right, exactly. He's made some transitions. He was pro-choice. Now he's very reluctantly pro-choice. In fact, now that he's blocked me, I can't tell when he's going to actually make this pivot. Recently, he signed on with the Blaze. This is after signing on with Turning Points USA last year for funding, and the libertarian funding that he got. The
Ayn Rand Institute?
Ayn Rand Institute, which of course is funded by the Koch brothers, by, maybe one or two contributions downstream or upstream, I should say. So, and all this time, I asked Dave to come on the show, or I would go on his show, or we could meet somewhere and have a conversation. Now, we're going to go back and sort of, I don't know, maybe play a little bit of a slideshow. As you can see, Dave Rubin has blocked me. And I'm going to go through this slideshow, some of the tweets. Just bring some people's, "Hey, Rubin report, sincere question. Have you or your show ever received funding directly from the Mercers or from a Mercer-funded entity?" He never responded. I asked Dave back in October of 2017, "How do you square your desire for limited government with your support of single-payer healthcare? Seems to be at odds. Elaborate?" And never heard about this. Now, his book at that time was in the works, and it sounded like he was teeing up his book tour. And I really wanted to make sure that if anybody ever wrote about his book, they'd have to search and see the tweets that we had in between each other. People can use this one. Go ahead. At one point, he did... this, of course, was when someone pranked Dave, and I thought that was really wrong. With a $100 super chat question asking him to debate me, and he jumbled, he wouldn't do it. And then I asked him, I understood why he didn't want to mention my name, but please give him back his money.
And YouTube did.
Yeah, YouTube did. That all worked out. And then Dave asked me at one point, Dave claims that...
So Josh Harkinson said, "Why won't you debate me or Sam Seder?" And so he replied to Harkinson, and
now,
then you got
just to
in
be
on
clear, he said that Harkinson called him some bad things, like alt-right or whatnot, and defamed him, I think, at one point. And then he invited him on, and then apparently Harkinson said no. As he wrote, "I invited, you declined, you're embarrassing yourself. Supporting the free speech has nothing to do with which guests I choose." And then I wrote, the question seems to be, "Why won't you invite me?" And Dave responded to me back then. This was June of 2017. "Got your email request for an interview. You just posted a video titled Dave Rubin Professionally Stupid. I'll pass and not interacting further. Now, I want to make it clear, it's not a video. He said you posted a video because the video was posted. It was Michael being rude, and someone
May I
else
just say,
titled, yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to be clear. We were rude in the video, and, the great Kelly was rude in the title.
Right. Okay. So there was a lot of rude people around here.
And I just got to be fair. I suggested that title to Kelly.
Matt,
so
there was a pipeline from the content I said to Matt's suggestion to Kelly's execution. So there's a lot of people questioning Dave's intelligence.
And then I wrote, I admit to not viewing the video, but the title was rude. I think because I was responsive, Rubin Report will accept my apology and have me on, because I apologized.
Not
Publicly.
only
Publicly.
Not only did you apologize, you literally
censored
silenced and violated my free speech.
I pulled down the video.
You assaulted the marketplace of ideas on behalf of Dave Rubin, which surprised me. I thought he'd immediately demand it be put back up.
And I asked him, I think this was earlier, why won't you have me on in the spirit of genuine exchange of ideas? And he goes, all I really know about you is from the dickish tweets you've been sending me. Maybe you should have tried email. And that's, I guess, when I did try.
Why did he go ad hominem?
And then I went down and I said, I think most have been quite polite. You made a Twitter request for suggestions from the left. I responded, happy to email though. And I did email, and then he found that video that Michael did. And even though I took that down and publicly apologized for the rudeness displayed by my rude people here. And believe me, I docked everybody here. A lot of people didn't get dessert that day at the commissary. Yep. Then coming up this year, hey, Rubin Report, condolences. It seems the IDW is culling the herd. This is, of course, from a Quillette piece. Hang in there, brother. Seems like nobody on the right's open to ideas. Want to come on the show to discuss solidarity? I tried to reach out to Dave. Wait, go backwards, right? Where's that retraction? Retraction. Yeah, this is when Dave, I asked him to, refund the money, and I go, and I said, congratulations, if true, that you've refunded the money. And then I retracted it because I was informed that Dave did not refund the payment for the super chat he censored. YouTube refunded. So I wanted to retract my claim that Rubin Report had some integrity in doing so. No excuses. This is on me. My apologies. I will double my efforts to do better. I wanted to just straight shooter, folks. Straight shooter. That's what I've been trying to do. And, that's our little walk down memory lane. We're back stuck here with Rubin Report.
We also have the first time you ever mentioned Rubin Report on Twitter, if you want to go through
this is the first time. Okay, so I was responding to a PBS NewsHour is attempting, it had a tweet that said, no labels is attempting to bridge the divide between left and right, John Huntsman and Joe Lieberman on NewsHour. And then I put LOL, which was a thing that the kids used at that time, meaning laugh out loud. And then someone called me regressive.
Yeah, Persian atheist called you regressive.
Oh yeah, Persian atheist.
And I wrote
Persian
back.
Atheist
I don't know who that was.
Interact with me. I believe if it's the same person, this is somebody who had a lot of Michael. What you should do is slow down Sam Harris's podcast so you can hear each individual word he's saying, and then you won't take him out of context.
So he called me
intellectually coherent,
regressive, and I responded silly. And then he said, ask Sir Dave Rubin about the regressives and TYT, and he tags Rubin Report, and I wrote, no thanks, sounds silly, but not fun. And that was back in a time
how little you knew how fun it would be.
I was going to say, that was not good forecasting on your part.
No, look, it sounded silly, but not fun, but it turned out to be a lot of fun. And
extremely silly.
Yeah, let that be a lesson for you. If there's any moral that I want you to take from my relationship with Dave, which seems to have come to an end, not by my choice. It's not the first time I've been jilted. It'll take a little while. I'll probably, spy on him by going through another account or hopping on Instagram and seeing what he's up to, and maybe even join Facebook just to follow and see.
Dave, I want to hear about ideas.
Well, just
I want to know when you become pro-life.
The hardest part Now that he's moved on to the Blaze and this and that, the hardest part to sort of get past is, and I will cop to this, the idea that I know at one point Dave's going to find another nemesis and they're going to go back and forth on Twitter and Dave's going to pretend like he's ignoring them. And it's hard for me to contemplate that being somebody but me. And, but I do want to say this to Dave. Listen, if you change your mind, just simply flick that switch, man, and unblock me. And we can just start over and maybe try and recapture a little bit of what we had. If there was something specific I could change to allow us to start anew, I will do it. You have my Twitter feed, so.
Perhaps I could have poked or prodded in another way, but I felt trying to figure out why he thinks as he does is what my job is.
Goodbye, Dave. All right, folks. I'm probably going to need a little minute as we go to the fun half to just collect myself, but just a reminder that your support...
Did you just hear that?
Your support...